Hey guys, and welcome to another vlog. This is vlog number 22. So I've fallen a little bit off the consistency bandwagon. The videos have definitely taken a toll. It's gotten to a point now where things have just kind of gotten very busy, and I broke the consistency. I was coming home, I was doing the videos, I did my 7-part Crush It series, and after that I kind of basically just burnt out. Now I don't quit, so I'm finishing this. I'm picking up the momentum. I'm continuing. But what I have found is that it's a little bit easier to smash out a few videos all in one sitting. So what this means is that you need to have prior planning. You need to know what you're going to be talking about. And so what I've been doing over the last couple of days is just kind of putting some topics together of what I'd like to talk to you guys about and what can add value. So this video here is just a little bit about explaining a few of the challenges that I got and why the videos broke consistency, and just kind of committing back to everyone that the consistency will pick back up, and I am going to get to day 30. This is 22, so there's not many to go, and I'll finish strong, I promise. And I really hope that it kind of leads into the launch of the podcast, which I'll talk about a little bit in another episode. So basically, for me, the biggest thing has been the consistency. Now, while this experience has definitely shown me that video is my sweet spot, I definitely am enjoying doing the videos a little bit more than the writing blogs, and definitely the path that I want to take down. What I have been doing in the last couple of days is just really exploring what other people are doing, and I think sometimes that can actually be a bad thing. And I know that Troy Dean wrote a blog recently and kind of given me some one-on-one advice to unsubscribe to everyone and just start publishing. And I think I listened to that at the start, but in the later parts, I wanted to know what other people were doing, what were their podcasts like, and what are other vloggers doing. So I started getting I got subscribing to all this noise again, and it is a little bit distracting because it's like, oh, they're so good, and their set looks amazing, and look at their microphone, and the sound's amazing, and it can be a little bit discouraging. So the weekend I went to the farm, and I sat there and just kind of thought about, where do I want to take this? And the first thing I decided was I was going to pick the vlogs back up. It's very easy to kind of sit there and go, oh well, I did 21. That's good enough. And no, it's not really, you know what I mean? So I saw Peter's ones still coming through. So well done, mate, for being consistent with that. But for me now, it's just a little bit about, getting a little bit more personal with the audience and really understanding what everyone kind of wants to learn. And this will line up really neatly with the Razor Sharp podcast launch, which is still a little bit away. I thought that it was going to be a little bit easier to launch a podcast, but it turns out that it's not. There's a lot of things behind the scenes in regards to artwork and logos, and where you're going to host them and things like that. So there are a little bit of things, but I'm starting lean. I'm not putting a lot of effort. I'm not going out and getting Amazon, whiz bang servers and hosting platforms and things like that, when initially there might only be a few listeners or a few hundred listeners. I'm very big at the moment in the lean startup and just making sure that everything follows a very minimal viable product, an MVP first, and kind of test it and get the traction and build the audience, and then let the audience kind of define what they want to see more of. And I guess that's where I've been. The one thing I have been doing behind the scenes is just connecting with people on social media. Like, I have made some of the best connections over the last few days purely just by hustling the social media platforms. Like what I said in my 7-day parts. D is like dominate, and E is to engage. And I think those two alone, and what I'm doing now is following up. So a lot of the connections I've made in the last few days, and this is literally simply by commenting on people's comments, and not doing the generic, oh, I love this post. It's just like, dude, this really needed to be something I read today. Thanks for being so inspirational. If you're ever in Australia, message me, love to connect, and people writing back going, "Hey man, nice to meet you. I'm in London, but let's chat direct message," and we move the conversation to direct message. I'm really finding Instagram powerful for building these connections and relationships, because you can the good thing about Instagram is you can see the history of what people are posting. So you have something in common, or you have some talking points. So the connection I met with the other day, his name's Brad, and he's from UK. And just looking at his posts, I could tell that we shared similar goals and likes, and chatting to him, and he didn't even make any reference to this, but he's also in the process of launching a podcast, and we kind of spoke a little bit about the challenges and, the artwork and this and the intro bites, audio bite size and things like that, and topics and interviews and all that. So, the good thing about it is the conversation eventually got to the point where it's like, hey, well, we can kind of do a bit of a shout out when our podcasts launch, and the themes are going to be similar around entrepreneurs and building better businesses and coaching and mentoring and getting shit done. So the themes of the podcast are the same, but he's in UK, I'm in Australia, and I think that is going to be a good relationship where we're going to interview each other and kind of possibly even talk about how we got the podcast started and some of the challenges and so forth. So quick update today in regards to why my videos have been a bit on holiday. I certainly haven't. I've been working harder than ever before, working 7 days a week, farm life on weekends, up early and getting shit done. So definitely been working hard, but sorry I haven't been making these videos consistency. Slap on the wrist for me, and we'll get back onto the consistency bandwagon. I will be recording a batch of them because I am getting my wisdom teeth removed this Thursday. So I don't know how I will be able to talk on videos. So the goal is to get all my videos for the next 8 days recorded in the next 3 days. So yeah, enjoy your evening. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, and guys, please shout out to me in regards to some of the content that you'd like to see. I'm basically in the process now of lining up lots of podcast interviews. So if you know anyone, or if you in fact would like to be interviewed on my podcast, please shout out below, and definitely would love to connect and see how we can make some energy happen. And guys, remember to always be razor sharp.